This is where we hold them. This is where we fight. And these Shields boys.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Shady. You're in the zone. Greetings to you from the majestic and beautiful Colorado Rocky Mountains. It is Wednesday morning. If I look disheveled or anything like that, if I look tired, if I sound tired, it's kind of because I am. I was up pretty late last night watching this clown show in Denver with the Senate Judicial Committee hearing SB 25-003, the anti constitutional, anti Second Amendment semi automatic weapons ban that the state of Colorado is trying to cram down our throats at the moment. Um, I started watching this yesterday, probably about 1:30 in the afternoon, and I watched it on and off all day long up until midnight last night. And while I watch this, I've got to tip my hat to everybody that went up to Denver yesterday to the state capitol, that participated in the rally, that went in front of this committee and testified. My hat is off to you guys. You did a great job. You rocked it. Um, I sat here and watched person after person after person get up and testify against this bill. There were a few people in the beginning that were testifying for it, but the overwhelming majority of people that got up in front of the committee yesterday were definitely against this bill. And there were a few superstars that were included in this group of people. Now, like I said, there were a few people that got up and testified for the bill, two of which that struck me, that stuck out in my memory, were these two. They were very young, probably high school age teenage girls, not even old enough to vote, that got up and testified against the bill. And you could tell that they had been coached. You could tell that it was scripted. You could tell the whole 9 yards, because these girls, it was just obvious that that's what had happened. Now, a lot of people read from their phones. A lot of people read their testimony off a piece of paper, and that's fine. But when it is, when you can blatantly tell that this was somebody else's idea that they put into somebody else's head, and then wound them up like little toy soldiers and marched them up there just to make this statement, it's pathetic. And the thing is like I said, hundreds of people got up in front of this committee and testified against this bill. Hundreds. It was amazing how much it went on and on and on. There was one point in time we were watching it, and I looked at Mrs. Shady and I says, I got to take a break from this for a while. I said, there's only so much of it that I can sit through and listen to, and it's not that I was giving up hope, or it's not that I was bored. It was just that so much of one thing just constantly all day long at one time. You need to step away every once in a while. And it's like I said, there were some heroes last night. But despite all of the testimony against this bill, this committee totally ignored the will of the people. They totally ignored what was said right in front of them all day long. And there were people from all different races, all different religions, all different areas in the state. There were conservatives, there were libertarians, there were even a few Democrats that opposed this bill. And still, at the end of the day, last night, very, very late, almost midnight, they voted this thing through completely, totally disrespecting, ignoring the will of the people. And I got to tell y'all something right now. It pretty much pissed me off. Okay. When you can sit there, and I don't care how much you believe in something, I don't care how much somebody has paid you to believe in something. When person after person after person, your constituents, the people who voted for you, the people that you are supposed to represent, when person after person after person gets in front of you and says you're wrong, that this is wrong, I wouldn't care. I would have to listen to my people. And yet, the people on this committee chose to ignore the will of the people. And they probably spent an hour after the testimonies were over patting themselves on the back, making up excuses, and sometimes blatantly lying about this bill. It was disgusting. It made me sick to my stomach. And I just I look at the people running this state and I cannot believe that people actually voted these agenda driven, one sided people into office. I can't believe it. Um, I think now this goes to the financial committee, and that is going to be a clown show right there because the state does not have the money to finance this thing. They have turned the financing over to Colorado Parks and Wildlife. And so they're going to have to take money out of their budget to get this thing, to get all these background checks, to get all these little cards, to get all these training courses, to get them off the ground. Colorado Parks and Wildlife are going to have to foot that bill. That means that they are going to have to take the money that you give them for hunting licenses, for fishing licenses, for state parks and things like that. The money that you, when you get your car registered and you get the stamp, the park stamp on it, part of that money that you, as a hunter, as a fisherman, pay to maintain our state parks, they're going to have to use part of that money to get this rolling, to get it off the ground. So yeah, the financial committee, this is going to be that's going to be a fun time. Um, I'm tired, and I'm sure that a lot of you out there that have been working on this are getting tired. We cannot stop right now. To be honest with you, all this delays, all these postponements, all that stuff that they've been doing right now is showing that we have them backing up. All right. This is getting national attention. And I'm going to get into that here in just a second. But this is getting national attention now. All right. They can pat each other on the back and tell each other what a good job they've done and how this bill doesn't infringe on anybody's rights. And they can say that until they're blue in the face, but they are. They're having to back up. They're having to add amendments to it to try to get it by. This bill has morphed from what it originally was into this Frankenstein's monster that it's become right now. Now, like I said, there were some heroes last night. There was a couple of Republican conservative Congress or House members, representatives that got up there and they totally opposed it and they made great points. Of course, they, just like we the people, were totally ignored. But one of the things, and you guys can go over to the Big Timber Lodge channel here on YouTube and you can see Mr. Nicholas Rogers' testimony that he gave. Um, for those of you who do not know, Nicholas Rogers is a citizen of Colorado Springs. He's a citizen of Colorado, and he has some pretty good connections with some people who actually matter. Um, he told them he told them to their face that we had in preparation right now, ready to go, a civil action lawsuit on these people because when they made the little amendment and they added the FOI card, or I think they're calling it the COI card now because it's Colorado, this identification card, that made it a civil rights violation. And if they pass this bill, if they vote yes on this bill, not only are they going to face a possible recall, but we are going to sue the state of Colorado in a class action lawsuit. And if that don't put the fear of God into them, then I don't know what will. But I got a feeling, I just have a gut feeling that even though they know what we're planning, even though they know that we have this lined up and ready to go, and we are, and put me on the list. Put me on the list of people that are suing these people because I'm all in there. Put me on the list to pass out petitions to recall some of these jack wagons because I'm in there with you. We have not stopped. We will not stop. We will continue to fight this fight. This is a hill that I personally will die on. It's like the intro to this video says, this is where we fight. This is where we hold them because Colorado has to stand in this. There are already states that are lining up right now with very similar legislation. I don't know why I can't say that word. With very similar legislation to SB 25-003, and they are trying to push it through. It's like I said in the last video, I sort of kind of expected them to wait and see what happens here in Colorado, but I think they're jumping the gun just a little bit. So there's 5 other states right now, at last count. There were 5 other states that have lined up with similar legislation. I got the word. With similar legislation as SB 25-003. So we, the people of Colorado, the patriots in this state, we have to stand. All right. They say that Doge is the conservatives' Tea Party. Well, if Doge is the conservatives' Tea Party, well, this is our valley forward, y'all. We have to stand here. We have to make a fight and we have to put this bill down. So I will come back when I have more information on this, pass it on to you guys. I'm also working on another video right now that should be out pretty soon. If you have a moment, please go up and hit the subscribe button. Um, Subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you click on the bell notification so you get notifications. If you are a subscriber right now, for goodness sake, please check your status on your notifications. Click the all button. That way there's no excuse. You get notice when the new videos come out. And also, if you're a subscriber and you just happen to come back to the channel, you may find that you've been unsubscribed. That's happened a little bit here lately too. Y'all, please forgive my stumbling and my I'm tired. So please forgive some of this. I am going to go back to work on the next video now. Until the next time, y'all take care of each other. God bless you. And stay shady.
This is where we hold them! This is where we fight! And these shields, boys!